Hello, this is Pat Walker, Mission Winners, doing a quick chart coaching video for everybody. A lot of people just gloss over the charts. It's very important to have an understanding of the charts. Every price and volume bar talks. You don't need to overanalyze it. Please don't think that, all right? It's not rocket science, but you can just glance at the charts, price and volume and trends, and see, is there strength or weakness? And there are telltale signs in the charts if you know how to read it. I'll give you an example here. We're looking at FTNT. FTNT went up on good volume here. That's good. Then you've got a quiet bar. That's fine. And then it fell on a slight pickup in volume. Not as heavy as this bar, but a pickup in volume. And then went up on less volume. Ran up here, but note where it closed on this bar. It didn't close that strong. It closed in the bottom half of its range. Not the end of the world. The trend is up. And then it went up higher, but note this. It did it on less volume. What does that tell us? The power is dissipated a little bit. It's not a rule to say, oh, sell everything. No, it's just a rule and tactic that says, hey, watch me. So now you look at this bar and you can say, oh, that's a red bar. This is a very important lesson. I'm going to make this bigger for you so you can see this. It gapped down, it fell, but it closed above where it opened on a slight pickup in volume. Even though it's a red bar, it's a bar that they bought. You can say, how can you say that? Because it closed above where it opened, and I'll make it even bigger. So now let's advance it one day. Now on this bar, it gaps up, it runs up, and closes near the low on a pickup in volume. In fact, heavier selling volume than these buy bars here. It's not the end of the world, but it does say, you better be a little careful here. At Mission Winners, this is the analysis we do. And if you noticed, there's no oscillators or anything on this. We're just looking at price and volume, all right? Advance at a bar. Okay, it falls, and it loses the 8 EMA, but it doesn't do it on heavy volume, but it did lose the 8 EMA. That is a small warning flag, said, hey, maybe sell some into strength, all right? You don't have to sell all of it, but some. Advance it. Oh, this is a green bar. This is a good bar. This is the primary reason I'm doing this video. Remember this. Just because it's a red bar doesn't mean it's a bad bar. Case in point, as I cited, this isn't a bad bar. Just because it's a green bar doesn't mean it's a good bar. And it's not rocket science. It's pretty simple. Look, it gapped up, ran up, and it closed below where it opened. And I'll make this bigger so you can see what I'm talking about. See the opening and the close there? It's met with selling. It closed below where it opened, and it did it on a pickup in volume. You have to be careful with that. When you see things like that, it's a warning sign to say, take some off. Sells into strength help. When you get warning signs like this, sell some. You don't have to sell it all, but don't argue with it. Take some off. And then it drops here, but it doesn't drop on heavier volume, and that's okay. But it did take out the lows of all these bars here, folks, including this one. It found support on the 21 EMA. But we need to watch this. We have support. It had support here. It had support here. It had support here on the 50 days. This is the 50-day. The blue line's the 21-day exponential. So we need to watch that. What have we done, though? Sell some into strength on this bar, as I cited earlier. This is a sell bar. This is a sell bar. This is a sell bar. All right? And you're just looking at the daily chart, folks. Advance it. Okay. Oh, it's an inside bar. Okay, good. It's a green bar. But note this. The buying on this bar is less than the selling on this bar. And it's less than the selling on this bar. There's not a lot of power in that bar. You have to be careful. Have you also noticed we're just looking at the day chart? We don't need to look at any other time frames. You can look at weekly too. And then you have this bar where it gaps down, it runs up, and it closes below where it opened. Now the volume wasn't very heavy, but it did take out the lows of this bar. It's indicating there's still selling going on in this stock, and to be careful, And then it gaps up. This is the big one right here. It opens near the highs. You see the little hash mark? And look at where it closed. Opened near the highs, closed near the lows. Right on the 21-day, but it did it also on a pickup in volume. Price and volume talk, and it's our job just to listen, to watch, and act accordingly. And then you have this bar, which is just pretty much a quiet inside bar. But note again, note the open. See where it opened? and it ran up. Note the close. It closed below where it opened. It's met with selling. All right? Take that into consideration. And if you noticed, this is simple. It's simple. It's conceptually correct. Here's the analogy. It's like this. 2 plus 2 equal 4. You can see it. It's not 2 plus 2 equal 5. I don't understand it. No, just looking at price and volume. And then it lifts up. Volume's okay, but it's less than some of these sell bars. Opened and closed near the highs. Maybe it has support on the 21-day, but there's not a lot of volume power in it, is there? The volume on this bar is, just to let you know, 3.5 million. The volume on this bar is less than the volume on this bar. See this? By only 1,000 shares, but it's not a lot of power. And then it lifts up. I said, oh, this is it. But note, look at the volume. It's even less volume. There's not a lot of power. Volume is the fuel that lifts the ship off the pad. And then you get this. Gaps down and drops on a big pickup in volume, losing the 21-day. Folks, that's a trigger. That is a trigger to sell. You lost the support line. You lost the 21-day. It gapped down, that's a negative, closes near the lows on a pickup in volume. It's telling you, be careful. Then you get a quiet inside bar right here on decent volume, but it's been broken here. You've got to be careful. And then you get this. And that, folks, is what you call a haircut. I can say that because you've seen my picture. Anyway, you can see, gap down. You knew earnings were coming. Price and volume action was telling you, hey, you better get lighter, or you better get small, or you better get out.
Thank you for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit like. Maybe hit that subscribe button. We come up with new content nearly every day. Also, check out the videos on the right. YouTube recommends the one on the top, and the bottom one is something we thought you might enjoy. See you next time.